Like, I was watching a video of some fucking white kid with glasses just talking about your career.
I hate those videos, dude.
But I'm Asian. He said white kid. I'm Asian.
Because I like JPEGs. Everything about JPEGs I like.
JPEGMAFIA. Barrington, Devon, Hendrix, Peanut Butter Thug, veteran, ex-military, Peggy. Dude, you listen to a guy called Peggy? Yes, I do, and I was introduced to him by my chronically online white friends in the suburbs. 34-year-young JPEGMAFIA has been creating quite a ruckus in a corner of internet music. He went from being very underground in the late 2000s and early 2010s to being one of the most beloved musicians on the internet today. He's known as a rapper, producer, singer who dabbles in jazz, rock, vaporwave, Japanese pop, South American soul, and many other genres. And he's also known for being one of the most creative forces in hip-hop today. He's most inspired by Kanye West and continues to outperform his role model in the 2020s, evident with LP, Scaring the Hoes, and I Lay My Life Down For You, compared to Donda, Vultures 1, and Vultures 2. Are you kidding me? Even if Peggy produced some of the songs on Vultures 1, he wipes the floor with all of those projects, no contest. While I'm on the topic, have you guys ever seen those bot comments on YouTube that say like, oh, Kanye's unreleased discography is better than most people's other things? Well, Peggy is an artist that actually takes these comments to heart. Although he has countless unreleased songs, he drops finished full-length albums pretty often. He's also featured on hella projects, so he's here like year round. His studio album LP was originally released on streaming as just the online version because he couldn't get that many samples cleared. But when he was dealing with those issues, he ended up also dropping the offline version of LP that contained all of the songs with sample clearance issues. I believe it was released on YouTube and his personal website, and even though he wasn't getting paid for it, he still released it to his fans. JPEGMAFIA has openly stated how much he hates a lot of things, but his fans are actually something he cares a lot about. I remember too, when I was first looking into his discography, a lot of earlier projects weren't on streaming yet. But more recently, maybe even within the past year, those projects are now on streaming. Albeit they have some songs missing, but you can get physical copies for sale as well. I got into JPEGMAFIA in 2019 with All My Heroes, but I wasn't really feeling him until Bald. Basic, I know. And even to this day, I'll call myself a JPEGMAFIA fan, but his older stuff is just a little harder to listen to. See, around my normal friends, I play songs like Hazard Duty Pay and some songs from Scaring the Hoes, but they don't seem to like it. More recently, I played some songs from I Lay Down, and they still feel the same way. They don't really like it. I guess it's a little too chaotic, a lot is going on, and there's really interesting and off-kilter beat patterns and sounds and effects on the voices that don't seem very compelling to most people. But personally, I bop these songs and it's really palatable for me. But you, as a creature dwelling on the internet, are shaming me already. Oh, but these songs and projects are his most digestible. A real Peggy fan will listen to
Rock and roll is dead. Jesus forgive me, I am a thought. And I smell crack.
You think you know me.
To be honest, I just don't think I'm depressed enough to listen to his dark, dimly lit, low ventilation, smoke-filled room type songs. I just prefer the fun or upbeat ones. Except I'm lying because my favorite Earl album is I Don't Like Stuff, I Don't Go Outside. But that's the thing, I consider myself pretty weird, but real Peggy fans are something else. They're a cult following. A lot of Peggy fans are wild at his concerts, and he's even known to spit in anybody's mouth who asks for it.
They demand that spit. They demand that saliva, that wet shit.
You deliver that.
Oh, always. Consensually. You gotta ask for it.
Thanks to the ubiquity of the internet, people are getting more and more weird. When I was in high school, I'd like to say lightly that my friends and I were rejects because we were weird. Many of us were neurodivergent, whether that manifested itself in anxiety, depression, ADHD, autism, or something else. But when you're able to find comfort in people who are kind of like you in a sea of other people, it's really nice and that friendship becomes stronger. And naturally, as you're terminally online, you find other groups that resonate with you. And those groups have definitely increased. Between internet connectivity, loneliness, the damn microplastics we eat in our food, and just better methods of measuring science overall, we are seeing an uptick in neurodivergence across the world. In America in the 1960s, 3 in 10,000 people were diagnosed with autism. In 2023, that is now 1 in 36. That is a staggering increase. And I genuinely think that's a big reason why JPEGMAFIA has gotten so popular. Society is more aware of neurodivergence and mental health, and JPEGMAFIA's music just scratches that itch that a lot of mainstream music just can't. His music comes off genuine and direct for an audience that is really particular about sounds, artistry, and cringe. Peggy is one of those artists that have a timeless discography, and I feel like he also has a considerably larger impact on music than his contemporaries. In fact, his influence is so strong it reaches the past, present, and future.
Making grown men emotional since 2008 at least.
Look, we all know JPEGMAFIA wears his influences on his sleeve. Whether he directly says it or it's represented in one of his songs, you can tell he loves older music.
I was attempting to be a Kanye West because he's excellent at that.
He's openly said people like Ice Cube, Skinny Puppy, Dirty Beaches, and Bjork are some of his influences. In his work, he also reuses some of the same samples, kind of like Bound 2 and Boys the Gun.
Every boy and girl want man to man.
For example, the Wu-Tang Tears sample is used in Ex-Military. You know what I'm getting at.
I might have broke your homegirl off, but you ain't gotta unfollow me.
And not to mention, Peggy brings up a lot of hidden gems from the past. He also loves video games and samples nostalgic sounds for people who grew up in his generation. Eventually, or even now, many young people wouldn't know the direct source of the sounds, but they associate it with video games. I really hope Peggy keeps these memories intact with these sonic skeuomorphs. And JPEGMAFIA is also the past because he's already created history with one of the most influential discographies in the 2010s. Throughout his projects, he had experimental and creative use of sampling his available environment, blending genres, and was able to be transparent through his music. The underground allowed him to be himself and share his more left field ideas in order to gain an authentic audience. His internet footprint is forever there, and he has solidified his status in the music world. In today's age, you are encouraged to either rigorously avoid social media or broadcast yourself on the internet, like me. JPEGMAFIA found his footing on the internet, and he's able to display his full personality. If we look around, there are tons of artists who are influenced by JPEGMAFIA right now. Red Veil has worked closely with JPEGMAFIA on Kingdom Hearts Key and Black Enough, and I love seeing their creative paths merge. Red Veil's production on Black Enough is insane, and it sounds like it was made just for Peggy. And the off-kilter electronic production on GTFU by Injury Reserve featuring JPEGMAFIA is one of those out-of-the-box songs.
Get up off your ass, nigga! Get the fuck up!
More abstractly, his mix of nonchalant rap, emotional punk, sampling, and nocturnal R&B, all while showing his personality and psychology, seem to parallel many other artists' careers. I see a little bit of Peggy in Brockhampton, TK Maidza, Channel Trace, Armand Hammer, Denzel Curry, Clipping, Rico Nasty, Zach Fox, and Cities of Eve, just to name a few. The synergies bounce back and forth between these artists, resulting in a positive feedback loop. Man, what a versatile artist. He really is the lead driving force in creativity, and a lot of people online have metaphorically passed that torch on to JPEGMAFIA, and I kind of agree. And it doesn't stop there. Even around me and internet producers online, everybody has their eyes on Peggy. His creativity shows that anyone can make music.
What I say is true. Anyone can cook.
Like, look, you can make a beat just by sampling your own voice or making some weird noise. And in doing so, you end up making tracks for estranged kids who have nowhere else to turn to. Another example why JPEG Mafia is a byproduct of the present generation is because he's very aware of his chronic online habits. In a world where there is so much entertainment, he never fails to mention it all. This is represented in his lyrics, song titles, collaborators, and just interests overall.
We're on the internet all the time. Everybody is. And I feel like I'm just a product of the internet. So like, it's not even like I'm trying to do it. It's just how I am. Like, that's just how I grew up.
And all of this combined makes him even more relatable to his ever-growing internet audience. When I went to see him perform Scaring the Hoes with Danny Brown, the line that stuck out to me the most, besides this,
"My name is JPEGMAFia. And hi, my name is Daniel."
was when he performed Kingdom Hearts Key. Before he started, he said, "This song contains rappers from 3 different generations. Redville was 19, Peggy is in his 30s, and Danny Brown is in his 40s. He's literally collecting talent across time."
Something we're doing now will be seen as hella fucking wrong in the future, I'm sure. What? And like, I don't know. I don't have no fucking idea. We don't know. That's what I'm just trying to say. Like,
you know, the future is completely unpredictable, and we don't know what's to happen for certain. But we can definitely make some guesses. And one of those guesses is the positive continuation of Peggy's legacy, unless something really bad happens to him. JPEG Mafia is clearly the future because we're seeing his influence in real time right now. And the thing is, for these ideas to gain traction, they just need a little bit of time. Like, look at Playboy Cardi and Filthy making Rage and how far that genre has come in just a short amount of time. But the thing is though, Peggy isn't someone to chase after the mainstream. He just wants to make music that he likes and he wants to, and that usually just involves creative experimentation anyways.
You know what I'm saying? There's an element of that in the underground with like guys like me, Earl, Danny Brown.
Right.
I would love to like mush that together instead of like we're just weirdos on the outside of mainstream. And
any direction music moves in that is out of the box is most likely directly influenced by Peggy, and if not, he's gonna be there to be a part of it. I can totally envision him in the studio still breaking boundaries and coming up with creative beats, or drawing influence from moshing around an underground progressive rock concert. At the time I'm writing and recording this, JPEG Mafia has recently released I Lay Down My Life For You, and I have to say it's already a great contender for Album of the Year. I love hearing the transition from harsher and abrasive sounds to be more ghost-like and melodic. It's like he's gone full circle in his career. And if I wanted to be pretentious, I could say that this transition reflects the title of the album. Like, during his life, he's living a more brash and abrasive lifestyle, and eventually he has a calm and restful death. But I'm not gonna be, so. I really loved this album. It's different, but right on brand for what I expect from JPEG Mafia. And on this album, he capitalized on big trends such as sampling AI in his music, but that's a discussion for another video. At this point, JPEG Mafia has become a household name for millions of people across the globe. Granted, most of those fans are internet people, me included, but he's only going to grow. As more hidden gems are dug up and highlighted in his production, and more collaborations are being made, and more forward thinking happens, I don't see JPEG Mafia's career ending unless he wants to organically retire. But even when he does, his influence will echo beyond just his physical life. Woo, buddy. Okay. Oh my god, I've been waiting to make this video for so long, and it's perfect that he just dropped this new album, and I love it, so it got me a lot more motivated to talk about it. So, what do you feel about JPEG Mafia? You think he's too weird? You think he's not weird enough? Are there any other underground artists that are like pushing barriers that like even JPEG Mafia would find weird? I don't know, you tell me. I hope this video finds you guys well. Again, I do everything here by myself. The writing, the recording, the research, the editing, the animations, it's all me. So thank you very much for watching this video. I put a lot of effort into it, and I really love doing this, and I want to keep doing it. So I love you guys. I love doing this. Yeah, let me know, man, like, what do you feel about JPEG Mafia and all that stuff? So that's it. Peace. Nice.